Welcome back to the Center for Off-Road Research, Shenanigans, and Science Technical Division, and I would like to start off this video with a little bit of gratitude to RC 4-Wheel Drive. They are now the headline sponsor for the Iowa RC Outlaws Camp and Crawl this year. We're very excited about that. We're happy to have them on board, and they do make great products, as you know. These Patagonias are some of my favorite tires, and I really like them. This is what they look like on a true 1.0 rim, and this is on the MoFo RC printed wheel with the positive offset. Do have a nice chunk of metal in there, and they look pretty good. I like that. It has a little bit shorter sidewall than a true 1.0 just because of the stretch that's happening, but to me they don't look wrong at all. And in fact, that might do real well because you have a sidewall that won't collapse, yet you still have the surface of the tire doesn't seem to be affected. It's just that little bit around the inside where the bead is. So I'll get a weight on this just so you'll know how much they are. In order to keep this in apples to apples, I've added a wheel weight to the inside because I've just pulled the regular 1.0 off of my buggy, and I want to see how the wheels compare to each other, all things being equal. So the new weight with the hex weight in it, 24.5, 28.4. So you're gonna miss 8 grams total on the front axle, which is easily made up by buying the MoFo RC 9-gram steering link. So you're not gonna miss anything if you do that. For those of you who know me, you know that I frequently abuse the English language by saying words that aren't actually words, like re-narrowficate, because it sounds funny. But anyway, once I swap to the narrower wheels, we'll take some measurements and then just do a live comparison rig to rig, and we'll see what the offset looks like. One nice thing about these MoFo rims is that center bore of the metal part that's not 3D printed. The center hub is metal, and it has a wide enough bore on it to be able to accept the RC 4-wheel drive wheel wrench. And I love this thing. It came with my original stamped steel wheels. I think I have 3 of them, and these are fantastic. It's worth the price just for the that wrench, but it does work pretty good. And I'll show you a little comparison side by side here. Front view of the tire has the entire portal box enclosed, and on the side without the positive offset wheels, you can see the portal box here. So that's completely exposed from the side of the tire. This side with the MoFo wheel, that's completely enclosed within the dish. So several millimeter gain back the way I like it. I prefer to have narrower rigs inside for my course. We'll get another drone shot from the top with the fronts done, and that way we can see it and compare it to the back. Here is the view from the top, and you can see the back is a wider track than the front is now. The front has been done. It is still a bit wider than a stock rig though. Not much, but enough that it may or may not be noticeable. I'm not sure. I don't think it will be much, because now we're only about half a tire width wider, and these right here are high racks, so they're a thinner tire. But if I line them up centered, yeah, I'm still giving up half a tire width, but it's quite a bit less than the back. If I spin that around, these aren't even close. These are outside of the tire on both ends, pretty much. This is how I conducted my static tip test. I just basically put it on there and leaned it over until the thing fell over, and I measured it at the point where the truck tipped. So I've done that consistently throughout this chart that I've made, and when something is written down, it has a lot more credibility. So yeah. Anyway, this is pre-portal on Scramblers, and the diff was 20 millimeters, skid plate 30.5, inner wheel track 66. Here's your climb number: 61, 41, 43, 45 for all of those values. This was the MoFo portals, and I've told you, these are the measurement changes over stock for this column, and it gained some in the side hilling, but it lost some in both climb and descending, and that was just due to the fact that it was up higher and wider. So by swapping over to Patagonias, now the offset has been reduced by about 12 millimeters. That number could be off a little bit. Don't know for sure, but those are hard to measure. But it's around 10, 12 millimeters, something like that, different. But even with Patagonia tires, with the portal axles, I still get 3 millimeters more than I had on a stock rim with Scramblers. So that's a big improvement. Skid plate is the same. I get about 3 to 4 millimeters there, and the inner wheel track again was about 12 millimeters wider roughly. Those could be wrong a little bit, but it's not off by more than a millimeter or two. This is my climb compared to stock axles and Scramblers. Again, I've now swapped over to the negative offset MoFo wheels, and I'm sorry, the positive offset MoFo wheels. I keep getting that wrong. The positive offset brings them back into the chassis. Anyway, the climb now, I've lost 2 degrees over what it had with the Scramblers on stock axles. 59 is still pretty decent. That's where it starts to tip. Now, it did do much better still, and I'm going to give you 2 reasons for this. It is wider, and the portal axles on the back of the truck add weight, and that's going to help with the side hilling. So it will also help with downhilling, as you can see that it now descends, at least statically, 2 degrees more than it did as a stock on Scramblers. So I'm going to say right now, based on these numbers, your best bet is a big small tire and portal axles. I mean, it has yet to be seen how they will perform on my course, but I think it looks super cool how it is. I love blacked out wheels. Anyway, that'll be something for the next video, but these are good numbers. I'm very impressed. The only one it lost was 2 degrees in the climb, and you may or may not even notice that. Everything else was improved except for the inner wheel track was 12 millimeters more roughly, and some people might not think that's a negative. They think, oh, that's fantastic, it's a little wider, and it might be. I'm not going to say that it's not, because I haven't tested it yet.